Right, tell me if it's painful.
The joys of crewing.
11 miles to go to Zena.
This is going to be the toughest part so far for everyone.
Still running. A lot of mud, a lot of wet rocks, a lot of boulders to climb over.
Race doesn't really start till he hits that turning point.
Alright dude, time to get up.
I'm very glad I wasn't on my own for that bit. Keep smashing it, alright? Yeah, it's going to be very spicy. We're on the home stretch. Come on!
The Arc of Attrition is a 100-mile foot race, often dubbed the UK's hardest winter 100-miler. It starts in Coverack. You go through Port Leven, you go through Penzance, around Land's End, up to St Ives, and then it finishes in Porthtowan. I've run the Arc twice myself, in 2023 and again in 24. And did it in 2023, was happy with my time but felt I could do better. Went back in 24 with the idea being that I wanted to get a black buckle, which you get for doing it under 24 hours. I did that, and then I kind of thought, well, what's next? Just doing it in a slightly faster time doesn't excite me. So I thought, is it possible to run it twice? My name is Mike Samuels, and the challenge is to set the official F.K.T on the Arc of Attrition ricochet. So 100 miles from Coverack to Porthtowan, turn round and then run all the way back again. Just over 200 miles in total. So what I'm doing is registering the route as an F.K.T, or fastest known time. So that effectively means that it's on a database of routes and that other people are going to be able to attempt it afterwards.
You good? Looking very athletic.
Setting and achieving challenges is big for me.
What time did you get here, Matt?
It probably does form quite a big part of my identity. I don't like to commit to something and then not do it. I think I hold myself to quite high standards, and I think anything below like a 9 out of 10 performance and I'm a bit harshly critical of myself.
Donuts, the fuel of an ultra runner.
Essential food for a two-dog.
This is quite a big challenge for a few reasons. When you do a race, you have a lot of infrastructure there to support you. You have race officials and medics and all that kind of stuff. Here we've not got that. It just adds an extra element of unpredictability.
I'll start loading me up in a minute, yeah.
At the moment, we've got 5 of us down here pacing and crewing him.
It's called muling. I'm going to carry his food, open gates,
Right.
try and make it as stress-free as possible.
We plan on seeing him every like 10 to maybe 15 miles. Right, 3 minutes. Just to do the Arc 100 is a big old accomplishment.
Oh, cheers boys, appreciate this.
All here for you. Yeah. To turn round at the finishing line and then run back, that's a big mental battle. I get it, mate.
Cheers mate.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you soon, boys.
There's something about the Cornish coast for Mike, because he's come back again to do this extraordinary challenge. Pleasure to be part of it with him from the start.
It's a big, big number of 200 miles. The thing with this sort of distance is not overthinking what he's got ahead.
It's a monumental challenge. We're just all here trying to get him through.
You all good? You need anything? There's a bacon sandwich or a sausage sandwich if you want one, boys. We've just grabbed some. Charlie up front. What do you want now, Mikey? Water and precision tab, yeah? Cool, the shoes sorted. Anyone else? Want anything? Water? Squeeze that. I don't know if that's completely done up. Yeah, cool. No problem. Do you want to see us in like 6 miles, or should we just... Yeah? We'll catch up here. If you want to fly past, fly past. Ain't the end of the world, is it? If you want to say hi and give a high five.
Enjoy.
Go on, boys.
In many ways, I think the very start is the worst part of an ultra. For me, there's so many nerves. What if my kit fails? What if this nagging injury that's been going on in the background, what if that suddenly gets worse? We're at that point where you think there's so long to go. Can I even do this?
He was a little bit quiet to start with, probably just trying to wrap his head around the enormity of what was ahead of him. But after about sort of 5 to 10k, he got so comfortable. Yeah, he was just knocking out the kilometres quite happily.
So pace he's on at the moment, he's around 28 hours.
He's
For the first 100.
For the first 100.
somewhere between 28 and 29 hours.
Yeah, he's a little bit ahead of pace, but I think we all knew that was going to happen when he first started.
All right, Mullion Cove's the next one, so.
Should we head off, go pick up your vehicle and get moving? Come on up.
Running with crew, I definitely think you build very strong friendships and bonds. So with Sam, he's just basically on a different level to most people, really. He's just did the winter spine, finished top 10 position for it. Interestingly, we went to school together, but we didn't mix in the same circles at all. But it's that shared love of running has brought us together 16, 17 years after both leaving school. I think actually it shows that sometimes both of you changing as people, you go from people who would never mix normally to all of a sudden being, closer than people you've known for 20 years. Running down to Mullion was the first navigation error. Fairly small one. We just missed the turnings. It's between 2 buildings, which is quite difficult to spot.
We saw them all at Mullion, and Ross was complaining about how spicy the place was. So yeah, he's absolutely flying.
He is perfect for this long stuff. Still very early days, but he's making it look easy.
All good, Mikey?
Yeah, I don't feel too bad. Like the odd bit's been not 100%, but just kind of expect that really. So just crack on and keep plugging away at the miles, I guess.
Yeah, Parsons is in 4 miles, or Marathon is in 11. So
Let's do Marizar and just get a bit more.
are you sure?
I reckon so, yeah.
You got enough fuel for 11 miles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got plenty.
And fluid.
Port 11 was good. We went through there fairly quickly, and at that point Sam dropped out and Mike came in to run with me.
Ready, bud?
You good?
Let's go, boys. See you later. All right, see you in a bit. Right, boys.
So Mike's just one of those people who is very motivating. He never says anything is difficult or hard. It's always a bit naughty or a bit spicy. Up to Marizine was just very easy running. Pace felt fairly high, but also fairly comfortable.
Yeah, some nice miles there. Yeah, some steady miles.
I think that was the first time during the run where I thought everything felt on track. Like there's no stress here, there's no hassle. It's just about putting in the miles and trying to stay fairly fresh.
Keep going, Jack. Well done, Mike.
He's motoring at the moment.
Absolute weapon, mate.
Yeah. Took us by surprise then. Wasn't expecting him to be here so quick.
No. Tracker said, what was it, 1.6 out or something, I reckon, and then suddenly 5 minutes later he's around the corner.
Seems in good form there at the minute. He was very happy to eat the super noodles, which is a good sign. Like that he's happy to eat, so at least he's getting his fuel on properly at the minute.
I think we're going to skip Penzance and then we're going to go straight to, what's the next?
Mile 45.
The Morna, mile 45.
Yeah.
That'll be the next stop.
Apparently it's quite runnable from here to there, so we expect this to be a pretty quick section again.
joys of crewing, just like staring out into the distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, any minute now, I reckon. I'm freezing.
Yeah, it's cold in this bit, isn't it? Stunning though.
Yeah. Here we go, here we go.
Coming into Le Mans was the first time I'd felt that my feet were starting to cause me a bit of grief.
In you come.
I think Mike actually said it to me at some point. He said, if you find yourself thinking 3 times, should I like change shoes, should I change my t-shirt, something with nutrition, he said you need to do it.
Not bad, are they, actually?
Really good.
If you start thinking about it 4 or 5 times, it's probably too late.
Obviously he's got a lot of miles ahead of him, so it's just important to keep him clean and lubed up.
With Sam, he's very experienced from a racing standpoint. I just think his knowledge is superior to almost anyone's that I know, so I was perfectly happy to just let him do what he felt was needed to be done.
So what I tend to do is clean the feet, compede any visible blisters, pop them first, and then clean socks with Vaseline over the top, and that way any friction inside the trainer doesn't irritate any blisters.
Is there any more food you need to take with you?
Yeah, he should be eating whilst he's sat here.
Yeah, what do you want now? Donut? Crisps?
He loves a double decker.
Maybe there's some sausage rolls, if that's right. In the cool bag, I think.
He's got a couple of battle scars on his toes, but all seems good.
You love playing with feet, Sam, don't you? Feel like a new man now, Mikey. He's moving incredible. Coming through Penzance, we hit the tarmac, which was nice. Got some very, very fast miles coming through there. I had to pull him back a couple of times and say, you sure you want to go at this pace? He's getting loads of food in, loads of water in. Yeah, just chatting away, like saying about how comfortable he was feeling. Didn't want to jinx it, but at this moment in time, he's happy with where he is. He's looking at Land's End as a bit of a checkpoint to get some hot food. That'd be a big goal for him, getting to that point. It's a milestone.
I probably want a head torch. Is that in the bag?
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, Matt's got it. He's looking very, very good. He's doing all the right things. He's moving well. He's just had a sock change. Just trying to preempt any issues. And as long as we keep that going for the rest of it, he just keep flying.
The transition from daytime into evening is one of those where initially I feel a bit apprehensive about it because you've got to have the head torch on. It's less easy to see what you're doing with your feet and what's in front of you. There is a bit of apprehension and a mild level of anxiety as you switch, just because it's changing how you're running. You know you're going to have to slow down.
It'll be interesting to see how he goes through the night. He's really on par for 29 to 30 hours at the moment for his first 100, which is incredible. We've got another 4 or 5 hours and he'll be approaching 100k. I hope he keeps the momentum through the night. I think it'll be tomorrow that it really starts to take its toll.
I think if he's still moving the same as what he is, yeah, it's going to be very spicy.
Land's End definitely was quite a significant point. You're over a quarter of the way in the 200, so you know you've cracked a good portion of it.
Magic. Doing all right at the moment. So just trying to take advantage of, feeling pretty good still. Definitely don't feel like I run 50 miles.
Could you just shove that in the back?
Yeah, of course I can. Well, we're all going to join you from Cape Cornwall, mate.
Brilliant.
And so we're all going to jump in. Have a little giggle.
You're going to have a Zenna disco.
We've got some goodies, but we left them at the pizza place.
He's in his element, isn't he?
Mate, you don't understand.
At the moment, he seems super focused. He's currently been doing about a 27-hour 100 pace. We're making a point not to mention it too much.
Sweet. So you've got three green bars at the top?
Yeah. You're all good.
Sweet.
Yeah, you're sweet. You're there, mate. Right.
This is now when we're entering the proper night section of day one. This is going to be the toughest part so far for everyone. The thing with Mike, we call him the cyborg, so he just shows no emotion.
Go on, boys! Go get it!
Just gets his head down and keeps moving. So we might not know that he is hurting. So we have to be on top to try and spot that before it happens. Leaving Land's End, you have to kind of brace yourself and get ready for what's coming. Got a few miles where it's not too bad, but then from miles sort of 60 onwards on the way out, it's definitely a lot more difficult. There's a lot of scrambling, climbing over stuff. You just kind of have to get your head in that it's going to be slow going. If you're doing 3 miles an hour, that's actually not too bad a cadence at that point.
New recruit.
I'm Martin.
Hey, nice to meet you, buddy.
I'm Mike Martin.
Yeah, we've got Cammy there, we've got Sam, and we've got Ross.
Hi Ross, you okay?
Are you training for anything then, mate?
Next one is going to be UTS 100k.
Yes. Are you on it this year?
I'm
on it as well.
Race across Scotland.
Oh, amazing.
Oh, Mike's done that.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, Mike done that. This
You
year,
probably
didn't he?
know that
Last
anyway.
year.
Oh, right. Hold on, boys. We have a new friend, Michael Samuels. We have someone to join us.
Hey.
Martin.
Oh, nice.
Michael, meet Martin.
Hello, Mike. You okay there?
How you doing?
He's doing a race across Scotland.
You're doing awesome.
He's doing a race across Scotland. You can have a chat about that with him. Awesome. Right, what do you need?
Fun.
Just got a couple of nibbles for you.
Meeting Martin for the first time was kind of a nice surprise.
How you doing, mate? You alright?
I'm doing good, yeah.
Having someone else there who you know is there just because they want to come and help you, that's massive.
Oh, cheers for coming out.
Pleasure, pleasure. It can be a bit of a tricky technical bit of coast path around this part here, so it's best to be in pairs or greater than that. So the main thing is just to make sure you keep Mike safe. The more headlights go in, the better it is to see. So although I've never met him, I'm sure in 4 or 5 hours time it'll be like we're old friends.
Martin's the sort of plot twist in the whole weekend. He had seen my post in the Arc Facebook group about doing this. He wanted to come out and do a few miles. And I just thought that was quite cool and gave him the tracking link and sort of said probably be here about this time. Yeah, he gave up a whole weekend and a whole lot more than that to come out and help people that he didn't know at all.
What do you need, Mikey?
That's it.
Have we got any caffeine?
Caffeine. Have we got some caffeine? You got a Red Bull, ain't you?
There you go. Mike.
Trying to think.
So at night, you get some benefit in that you can't see how horrendous it is because you're not really making much progress around this part of the coast path. So a point in the distance, which may only be a mile or 2 away as the crow flies, might take an hour to get to. My aim is to get him to daylight, so it's coming up to 10 PM now, so I want to get about 8 or 9 hours in, so I imagine that the pace is going. That might be 30 miles or so, 40 miles. We'll see how that goes.
Are you getting on with that Red Bull?
Yeah, just walk.
You want me to take it, mate? You're all good.
11 miles to go to Zena. It's quite a barren section, this.
Mike's just done some of the most technical ground on the course.
It was muddy, slippery. He went down a couple of times, but he was fine all night long. Every time I asked him, his stomach was good, his head's good.
He's still getting plenty of nutrition in. He's eating, just making the most of feeling strong.
I like being in the ultra bubble. Brain doesn't switch off, but it certainly gets very, very focused on what you're doing in the moment. It's that singular focus that actually helps put stuff in perspective for you.
We call him the cyborg, which is a very catchy phrase because he doesn't show much emotion. We've had some really good conversations about life, about the world. That just seems to tick the miles by a lot quicker. But yeah, race doesn't really start till he hits that turning point. Proud of him, he's doing really well, and I'll be back down Sunday to see him. Right, keep smashing it, all right?
Cheers, mate.
Appreciate it. I'll see you on Sunday. Enjoy.
Keep going, Mikey. What am I?
Well done, mate. Well done, Martin. Well done, Mike.
That's why this package just came down. The night was cold. It was really cold for a Cornish night. I think probably one of the coldest so far this year. frost on the ground, which is really unusual for us. The wind wasn't too bad, but you do feel it as you come in and out the coves, as you go around the coast. We just kept moving, that's the main thing, keep the miles going. Still running.
This is ultra running, it's a journey. He's learning all the time with his nutrition, his endurance in himself, and I just think this is an advocate, this attempt, of where he is as an athlete at the moment as well. You know, I've ran with Mike a lot over the last few years, and he's incorporated quite a lot of strength work into this, and you know, he's going to deteriorate over the next 24 hours quite a lot, and I think that game plan of him coming in a bit heavier and everything, he just looks a different guy.
Does he look like a man that's just run 90 miles? No.
Mike, on the
few miles maybe.
Drop it with him now.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you, mate. Appreciate you coming out.
No worries.
Cheers.
Halfway.
It's first 100 done and dusted. Good to be halfway through. So far it's yeah, it's not going terribly. Feet are a bit mashed up, but I'm not overly worried, to be honest. I'll do another sock and shoe change, about 15 miles. Hopefully that'll give them a bit more spring, a bit more bounce, make them feel a bit fresh. If the wheels come off later, then we'll deal with that when it happens.
Coming to the halfway point, I was very much looking forward to having a sit down, having a bit of a break, and then cracking back on again.
Fair beans is probably the last thing any of us need. Such a good point.
I was here a year ago with him when he did the sub-24 black buckle for the 100, and the state of him compared to now, we're only talking an hour and 40 minutes difference, and he's about to go back and do another 100 miles.
It's impressive to watch. This could be a record that could take a long time to beat, and great to be here to support him. I think he's going to run most of the day today and then try and sleep somewhere around Zena.
Sort of giving him a max of an hour and a half for sleep. Obviously he's got the whole half to go now, and he's got to digest that on the way back. Mike's laser focused, you know, he knows what he's got to do. I just think this is written in the stars, this one, it really is, and I'm not talking out of turn now. I really think he's going to shock a lot of people. I think if anyone can do it, Mike can.
At the halfway point, I felt almost overly positive, and then you had to lock yourself back in and go, well, actually, we are only halfway.
So it's now 10 to noon on Saturday. Mike has done the first arc, which is just incredible in itself. So I did 34 miles with him last night. I've had a few hours rest, and I'm going to join him again now. See if I can get the bulk of the daylight today with him.
Coming into Hell's Mouth, we stopped and picked Martin up for the second time, which was a big pick-me-up. We thought he was going to go back home and have some chill-out time. As it was, he went to Tesco, got some breakfast, slept in his car, and then drove on back.
We're coming up on 2 o'clock now. I want to get to Zena. Ideally get there by about 8:30, then have a sleep, so that should be doable.
The landscape's amazing. As far as I know, there's nowhere else like it in the UK that's got that different array of landscape and natural beauty. Definitely gives the race a different dynamic. Part of me wishes that I could slow down, look at it a bit more, and I'm just head down, kind of pushing forward.
Last 2 hours has been alright. I reckon we had about 5 hours before that didn't feel fantastic. Yeah, just hit the 100 point. Felt really good there, and then I think sort of just realised how far there was to go, and just maybe got in my own head for a bit. Another 8 miles, and I'm going to grab a sleep. So not had any yet. So hopefully I'll wake up a new man.
Going out of St Ives, heading back towards Zena, just felt incredibly draining. Just the fatigue makes certain bits so much more challenging. That's one of those points where I thought we've still got 70 plus miles to go. Do I want to do this badly enough?
We're halfway through the worst bit, but feet are just messed up, and that bit's the worst bit anyway.
Definitely you leave sort of bits of you out on the coast path, whether it's skin or whether it's just bits of your soul at certain points.
Just rubbish, to be honest. Bit of food, sleep for about an hour and a half, hopefully.
I've got some spare paracetamol if you need some more.
Certainly to me it felt like almost at times the route was saying, like, we'll let you go through, but you've got to earn it.
So that was tough, that section. A lot of mud, a lot of wet rocks, a lot of boulders to climb over. And then because it's high tide and the sea's pumping, you're sort of making those decisions about climbing the boulders while you can hear the sea beneath you off the cliff. So that puts a bit of extra pressure on you. You know, if you go wrong, it's going to be bad news. Obviously it's only temporary, but it can get into your head, but it's going to be forever. It's been a pleasure, mate.
Thank you, mate. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
I'm going to keep tracking. See where I want to wake up tomorrow. Just keep pushing through.
Cheers, mate. I really
Remember, it's all just temporary.
Yeah.
You're going to have a bad mile, you might have a bad hour,
Yeah.
and then it'll come back.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Yeah?
Cheers. I'm very glad I wasn't on my own for that bit, because it's pretty horrible. So, yeah, it's really good of him to stick around.
Mike's 133 miles in now. I think he's just exhausted. We're under strict instruction from Sam that he's only going to sleep for an hour and a half. So no matter what, hour and a half's time, I've got to wake Mike up.
Waking up in the van, I felt worse than before I'd gone to sleep. I was so tired, but just legs kept cramping. I think Cammy just opened the door, turned the lights on, and just said, "I'm really sorry, but you've got to get up." I had an hour and a half, but it was probably only about an hour of actual sleep. That's one thing I was conscious of, was knowing that there would be voices that said, "Don't carry on, it's not worth it, this is taking forever." I wanted to be over.
You always get frustrated with yourself for making silly mistakes because you're tired. It's like the death by 1,000 paper cuts when you're walking along and you're tripping over little stones, or the ground's wet and you lose your footing and things like that. It's little things like that that sort of start to beat you up inside.
He's 150 plus miles into his 200 miler on an hour and a half sleep. This was always going to be the hardest part of the second night.
Just got to try and get it done.
Coming into Land's End for the second time was more just relief, because I actually don't think I've ever been that tired.
Can we get the bed out?
Here so quick.
Can we get the bed out, dude?
Yeah. Is that alright? I'm just going to have like a half hour lie, not half hour, 15-minute lie down, so I was almost falling asleep for a bit.
Not intended to have a power nap, but I can have 15 minutes here, and hopefully that will do something. The only thing I remember is lying down and just being out straight away.
During the first part of the night, we were sort of like chatting and random conversations would come up, but you sort of notice that everything goes really quiet, and you know, both of our heads start to dip and you're just staring at that white dot on the ground, and not really taking anything in. Like, I'm sort of very aware of the noise of the sea crashing in, and you know, just like the rustle of the wind and stuff like that. And when you start to get those dark periods, you don't even notice any of that. You're just staring at that white dot, and just feels like time passes that little bit slower. You can see when he was getting to like a few like technical rock sections, he would stop and have to like really think about what he wanted to do next. So it's definitely the right call to just try and get a bit of kip, and then hopefully then wake up a bit more refreshed.
Leaving Land's End actually felt a bit better because of that power nap. Psychologically, you're like, right, we're about 3/4 of the way through there, so there's still a lot to do, but really have broken the back of it. It was a big kind of kick as well. It was an interesting few hours because we actually met a few people out on the trail as well. So we just happened to run into Ferg, who was the director of the Arc race, and I was with Cammy at the time, and we were running past and just sort of nodded and said hello. Ferg said, "How far are you running?" And Cammy just went 200 miles. That's when Ferg turned around and went, "Oh, you're the bloke doing the double arc." So yeah, had a chat with him about it and just shared some stories of how terrible it was, basically. As we came out of Penberth, Jim Spencer, who was the first guy to do the double arc, decided to run down and see if he could find us and do, I think we did about 6 miles with him. He left his wife doing some knitting in the car on the proviso that he was allowed to come and meet us if he'd take her for lunch afterwards. That gave me a bit of a boost. Certainly felt like just having someone else there who was running on fresh legs. He obviously slowed down a bit for us, but it still felt like we were being pushed ahead. So it made some really good time through there. Coming to Marrows Iron, was actually feeling a bit worse again. My feet were getting quite beaten up by the tarmac, so I'd been in road shoes for a while, which I think was probably the right choice, but where they had thinner soles at the same time, my feet were really starting to feel it. There's always going to be something that hurts doing a distance like this, so if it is just my feet, then yeah, so be it, I guess.
How far is fourth level? Not that far. Wow. Depends who you ask, doesn't it? Got ya. Cool. Got St Michael's Mount over there with the 2 Michaels. Nice to do this bit with you again. We done it on the way here, didn't we?
Mike initially wasn't going to be here today. He came down Friday through till very early Saturday, but he's a glutton for punishment and has come back to do another stint today.
Couldn't let these guys have all the fun, could we?
Boss man Sam has asked for Martin's number to add him to the group.
You're in the group chat, mate. We need to get you in. Nah, he's been a legend, old Martin.
You want some suntan lotion back in your neck?
I'll give him some Factor 10 back there, but we just as well stick a little bit more on it. I'm sacrificing.
I often kind of feel a bit bad when people are doing stuff for me. I always feel slightly guilty that they're doing so much and you're just sat there stuffing your face.
Cheers, mate.
No worries, bro.
With all the guys out there, you feel like their support is 100% genuine. Having that is massive. I feel like our sort of relationships have just, broadened probably more from this weekend than they would do in like 2 years of going to the pub and just hanging out normally, so to speak.
Right, Tam, if it's painful.
Is
that it for me?
I wasn't in a good way, mentally or physically, coming into Brass Sands.
Why did it hurt so much?
Probably like the amount of miles.
Yeah, probably 177 miles, mate.
Yeah. The hill looks a little bit.
His feet are so fat.
His feet have been hurting, but we've made a big effort to change his socks now because he had the waterproof socks on. His feet were sweating quite a bit.
Oh, the toes are in there, so you get the back bit on.
Right, you your side up on our side. We just put Sudocrem on them as well. Got new shoes, so we're just going to let that do its magic for 10-15 minutes and then he'll be good to go.
Just let his feet sort out a little bit. Let that sunk in.
So I hadn't planned on having any more sleeps at all, but at that point I just felt so run down. It was the case of, okay, have 15 minutes, no more, with the idea being, let's just see what that does and go out and hopefully there'll be a bit of a turnaround.
Pour a little bit of that away, Anne. Come on, buddy, we got this now. The numbers are going down, Mike. The numbers are going down, mate.
Did you sleep?
Yeah, I think you just went off, didn't you?
Yep.
And then you had some fucking idiots knocking on the door again. Then you get up.
When it comes to wanting to quit, I think I've had that probably in most races. It's very difficult to be rational if you are sleep deprived, if you're hungry, dehydrated, all that kind of stuff. The thing for me would be, in a day's time, how am I going to feel? Have I done absolutely everything I could have done? I think most of the time you'd be very, very disappointed that you didn't crack on and get it done.
Don't know where he gets his resolve from. The energy just seems to appear out of nowhere. This whole experience has been crazy. It's inspiring to see Mike do this. We're just in Porthleven now, waiting for Mike. Mike was really tired when he came into the crew point. His feet were really sore, so we've given him a fresh pair of socks, treated his feet, different pair of shoes, and then he had a 15-minute nap. He's eaten something, changed everything. From here, we'll have less than a marathon to go. So I know that Mike has been looking forward to that countdown, because he feels like once he gets there, that's definitely achievable now.
Naughty splits, they were.
Coming into Porthleven for the second time is probably one of the best points of the race. You're under a marathon to go, which is big. I'd never been there in the dark before as well, and it's quite a pretty place with all the lights up and there's a bit of a buzz around. And also, whatever we did at Brass Sands with the coffee and the shoe change and everything, just had such a massive effect.
We're back in the game, Cammy. We're back in the game, mate. He is flying. Feed him, and let's just keep that momentum, mate. What a guy. Yeah, that little power nap has absolutely changed that man. Started to ease into it a little bit. We opened the legs up, and he just went off like an absolute rocket. Across that was a really nice section as well. It was quite soft underfoot. And it was just rolling, wasn't it, Mike? Got right in the zone then. Got a nice little train on the go, Martin, didn't we?
That was like a Saturday morning group
Yeah,
run.
it was, mate, wasn't it?
It's like we're all just fresh
Yes.
out the car.
Yeah, no, that was, yeah. Yeah, that's put a nice bit of momentum there now. Just try and hold that, get some good food in him. Yeah, he's come alive. New socks, new shoes, and yeah, someone's put a rock up his ass.
Do you need anything?
I'm good, so I'm going to jump out here.
Yeah.
Either you or Cammy, take me to get my van.
Yeah.
I'll drop it to the finishing line, and then I'll just come and find you on course. All right?
Mate, that was amazing. Appreciate it.
Mate, that was, yeah. Let's just keep that now, Mike. Let's get it done, mate. Numbers are flying down.
Go on, Mike. Keep that momentum, buddy. We'll see you soon.
This is the time now, Mike. Go get it, buddy. That finishing line ain't far.
He's so good at just getting food down. Every time he's come to the van, there's been a real solid amount of food intake. And then even when we're out on trail, we're making an effort every half hour to say, like, look, here you go, here's something. And he just eat it and get it down. I think that's probably why he's able to, that's probably where he draws on that energy from, because he just keeps eating and eating and eating.
Coming to Kynance, I was not having fun at all, and that was the only time I'd seen Martin slightly drop as well. He had a few sort of big sighs that he let out, and I remember saying a couple of things that were a bit negative and how it was annoying, and he just didn't say anything, and I thought that's a good sign that he's also starting to feel like this.
Oh, this section's hard. There's no point of reference there. There's no discernible track of any description. The waves are roaring below you, and I know I can't go too close to the edge of what I've been to see. I was having to ask Mike a few times are we going the right way, because I wasn't 100% sure myself. So that's telling me my brain isn't quite as sharp as it was this morning or yesterday.
When you've got a bit of technical terrain, that's when you probably want to be extra careful, because when your brain's not really working properly, that's when you're at much more of a risk.
Yeah, that was tough going.
It just took forever, and at that point I didn't really want to be out on the coast path anymore.
How was that section then? We've still moved pretty quick through it.
Yeah, apart from that, the sand and then clearing the feet out, everything else was 14-15 minute miling.
You got my inhaler somewhere, Martin?
Yeah, I've got it in his pocket here.
You want to go grab it? There's one here. Oh, that's right, I got this one. No, cheers. Feeling alright, Em?
A bit chilly, but
What have you got? Is there anything we can give you?
my
Have you got a long sleeve under the coat?
Yeah, you've
long
got.
sleeve t-shirt and this.
Maybe put another base layer on?
Not be a bad idea actually, would it?
The next good news is distance to go now starts with a 1. 19.
Right, let's see you in 3 miles then. Try not to beat me there.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
So bad.
Save that man, go.
What, just, what, terrain-wise?
Some of it was terrain,
Yeah.
but there was some real hard up and down steps
Okay.
where it was just scrambly. Because a lot of that section, no one really walks that. There's no dog walkers, there's no walkers, no runners.
Yeah.
So because of that, there's no signpost, there's no infrastructure, and unfortunately, 90% of the distance is just
bullshit.
marsh and bog. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
He's resilient. He is really resilient. If it was me, now and again I may have just stood there and screamed for 30 seconds, but he never did that once. He just goes quiet. So when I'm with him, sometimes I'll go quiet as well and just let him get his head down, and sometimes I'll try and motivate him.
Cheers, mate. Thanks so
It's
much.
been awesome. Really has.
No, I really appreciate it.
And you got this.
Cheers,
Quick
mate.
power nap and then you got it.
Appreciate
Yeah.
you.
Martin's the surprise addition to the cast. He was just so likeable, so giving, so friendly, and just the fact, I mean, he did a big stint. He'd done sort of 80 odd miles that weekend. He just seemed excited about running as well, and I didn't hear him complain once.
All right, dude, time to get up.
It's been good fun. When I think of some of the events I've paid for, this has been better than that. And basically all I paid for is a bag of shopping and £2 for his parking.
Go on, you there.
Oh yeah, we're at 11 miles to go. Yeah, he's power napping, he's got it.
Right. See you at the finishing line. Come on, mate.
Right, you go
Got
for
it.
You deserve the
Got it,
patch.
Mike. Boys.
You go for it.
Come on, Mike. Come on. Let's go. Come on.
Go get the next movement again, Mike. Then we'll get up and get some runs down, bud. Feeling good? If you'd turned around and said yes, mate, I'd have been pretty worried about you. Not good. Oh.
I think I went into the mindset of, you've come here to do a job, your job is literally just to get to the finish. There was just that energy left, and I thought, well, you don't have to hold anything back, so just give it everything to finish.
We're on the home stretch. Come on! Oh, look, we're still giggling. Come on, Mike. That's it. Everything. Everything. Fucking yes! Come on, buddy. Sit down. Oh my God. Legend. That was naughty, wasn't it? Full effort. Absolute full effort.
I definitely felt a massive moment of relief. And I kind of feel a bit bad saying that, because you think you've just done this huge thing, there should be more emotion than that. But I think I'm the kind of person who processes stuff in the days after. It's not necessarily there and then.
It's pretty horrible at times, albeit self-inflicted, but yeah, just very glad to get it done, and very grateful for all the support and all the guys as well. Feel like we've
Sort of brothers now, mate.
Yeah, feels like we've kind of known each other about 20 years after the weekend. So yeah, it's we've shared some really good experiences, and yeah, just very, very grateful that people want to come and do it.
Utter naughtiness. He's fucking done it. What was your finish? What time have you got on your watch?
Well, I haven't saved it. I'm still saving. Make that just over 67 hours.
Shut up. Really?
Yeah, because 4 o'clock in the morning would have been 68.
Yeah.
And
67 hours.
That was bang on 3 o'clock, I think, pretty much.
Mate. See that man there? He's a fucking legend. Oh.
Don't be afraid to take risks, don't be afraid to fail. Be sort of comfortable with who you are and realise that you can do things that you don't think are possible.
Right, I'm having a fucking rolling.
I don't know whether it's love of the sport or just maybe you only get into this sport if you're that type of person. But yeah, the community that trail running has, yeah, it's so cool to see. I've even got Martin's socks still.
You can have them, I reckon.
Right, you ready?
Yep.
Well done, Mike.
Whoa, he's got another toe.
Well done, mate.
I think you might have topped next year's calendar.